you tired of your flabby body embarrassing you on quests and adventures? Well, the solution isn't eating salad like some lagomorphic elf. No, the secret to metabolization is delving, and Kinfire has the plan for you. Replace practically any reward with delving. Slay a demon? Boom, that's a delving. Unravel the chronomancy that binds time and space? Oh yeah, that's a delving. Discover the 10,000th shard of the Vashta Nerada, and well, actually, this one reactivates your lantern. But unlock the forbidden crypt of Gal Kurtel? Oh yeah, that's a delving. Kinfire Delve is a cooperative game spin-off of the larger Kinfire Chronicles, divided into 3 standalone but combinable parts, each with a pair of heroes and a uniquely tailored adventure. As such, a singular release is essentially a solo or 2-player joint, but through the magic of mixing, mashing, and moshing, any of the heroes can take on any of the adventures, scaling up to 4 players at the table. Whatever dungeon you're delving, one of the 3 versions of that adventure's unique boss are hidden at the bottom of the well, and as heroes complete skill checks for the various obstacles surrounding the veiled boss, they progress deeper and deeper in the well deck, both because you are revealing more and more challenges from said well deck, but also many, if not most, of the completion rewards are to delve, discarding further cards off the top of the deck. Make it to the bottom of the well, reveal the boss, break their unique wards, preventing various types of skill tests, and accumulate enough success to complete their Uber challenge level, all before losing the last of your team's precious shared 10 life, and you win. So this has been my first, delve into the Kinfire universe, and it's been a really pleasant surprise. It has a real addictive quality to the game, a sort of low stakes, low pressure, one and done adventure fantasy sort of thing that in some ways scratches at the same itch as Pathfinder adventure card game, just more codified strategic gameplay and stripping out the persistent game elements. The array of choices presented is really consistent and really clear. Every turn, well, pretty much every turn, you're going to have 4 challenges in front of you, and you just need to decide which one that you're going to attempt. You select a card to play from your hand, which is going to give you some sort of ability unique to that character's deck, as well as base strength for your attempt. Other heroes, or even yourself if you're playing single-handed solo, can discard corresponding cards to boost your attempt, then roll the 4 dice to see if you get any additional points towards that skill and put progress on the test. If there's as much or more than the challenge level, great, you get the success reward and move on. Fail and you suffer the listed penalty, then pass turn. It's simple, it's rhythmic, and even if there's this sort of repetition to it from the limited amount of systems that you're interacting with, it still gives you a lot to chew on. The vast swaths of different unique aspects to the challenge cards, to the bosses, to the different exhaustion effects that are unique to each of the 3 different scenarios from the 3 different games, not to mention the personal cards that are associated with your character's unique deck and their abilities and unique lantern, which is their activatable superpower, all give you a lot of latitude in how you approach this relatively narrow construct, which makes for a great and interesting, albeit oftentimes difficult, puzzle to work with. Having played through all 3 of these sets, the highlight is really the unique feeling heroes that are managing to evoke a lot of distinction with a relatively small rule set. From the roguish archer who levies a lot more precision in their outcomes, to the dwarven Zadiomancer who, in addition to sporting a red and silver fox beard, has no color restrictions when boosting allies and builds up magical icons in their discard pile for more potent effects. To a tanky robot, Spoony Bard, a vampiric scrapper, and my favorite, the meaty beady Orcus Barbarian. While each of these smartly has the capacity to tackle a game solo, like many asymmetric co-ops before it, Delve benefits from the intersection of the characters working together. But for all its strengths, it sports some notable weaknesses too. By selling as 3 separate releases, Delve skips the much needed practicality of a singular storage solution. Sure, maybe someone would be happy with just one, but the strength of the game and much of the replayability is in having all 3, and there's no real convenient way of storing it all at once. Also, for a game with Delve in its title, there's not a lot of depth. Yeah, there's strategy and challenge abound, but the systems are pretty narrow, and this is a pretty tight 30 or so minute adventure game where bad draws in hand or flops on the table can be as impactful as your decisions. While not missing the persistent elements, I think the one and done nature works well for this system. I wish it had some sort of variability in the characters themselves, maybe different lanterns or reversible sides of the characters so they have slightly different traits that you can try, or maybe even some modular equipment apart from the characters that gets established during setup to both touch on that adventuring trope and give you more customizable leverage to experiment with. As it stands, once you played a character, you played that character, and all that can change from game to game as their allies or the particular arrangement of the dungeon to be delved. Which in a bigger, higher investment game would be an absolute death knell, but here it's a surmountable, albeit disappointing weakness in a game that I like quite a lot. There's a propulsive quality and a mounting pressure to it where both success and failure, the potential outcome of dice rolls, and even the action to refresh your hand, which yes, comes at that adventure-specific penalty of drawing one of the scenario's weakness cards, are calculable and often mitigatable risks. And the production, limited as it is pretty off the charts with these gorgeous illustrations and these cool foil inlays on all the cards. Not to mention the really nice boxes, albeit I still would much rather it just being one single box that could hold it all, or at least have room to put all the other cards in it and have them rest on their side. Seriously, you can keep it small and sexy and maintain the aesthetic, but I guess this is the way they wanted to go. So with all that said, as someone who loves adventure gaming, tight experiences, and clever co-ops, Kinfire Delve has been an excellent introduction to this world, a game that offers enough as is, but even greater potential for further development in the future. And that's our review, but let me know, what is your favorite of these 3 if you've played them, and who are your favorite character combinations, and what's your favorite of the Kinfire games? I guess there's a bunch of them, so I gotta check them out. Which one should I check out next? Put it in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, thanks for being such an awesome community. You know that I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald.